Alrighty. So,
foot on the brake and pull the gear stalk towards you and down.
And we're good to go.
And we're rolling. So if you put your foot on the gas, off we go.
Yeah. And that is utterly surreal. God, it does get up and go though, doesn't it? Is the needle supposed to flicker around like that?
Well, what we're showing have you driven a Phantom before?
Yes.
So the power gauge is essentially the same thing, apart from we can go positive, because when you're lifting off, the regeneration's putting some power back.
Okay.
Obviously, if we were making a series production vehicle, I'd make this a bit smoother.
Yeah. But it's right now it's actually realistically simulating.
Yeah, it's very, very accurately showing what it is, and for a series car, I guess we would smooth this out a little bit.
It is. You're going to hear this a lot. It's very quiet.
I think I heard it in every drive so far.
Every single drive. I'm not going to brake more just yet.
But I've done a lot of driving myself as well, so normally when we arrive in the new location, I'll do some driving myself to run some tests in that country.
Yeah.
So the car was delivered to AGMC, to the Dubai dealer.
Yeah.
And then we could have brought it here on a truck. I drove it here because I like to experience the country.
So you drove it on the actual roads?
Yeah, I drove it here.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a video of myself doing it. It's really good fun. We
you
actually
have more than one of these, I imagine.
No, this is it. It's the only one. Don't have any spare parts.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nerve-wracking sometimes, but I put my GoPro on the roof and drove it here. And the only bit I was a bit scared of was in the Sheikh Al Zayed road. I had a lot of people coming up alongside and looking, and then wanting to
You think
race.
they sussed out what it was?
Yeah, they're looking. Well, they're looking. I think here more than a lot of places, they recognise the Phantom and they know the Phantom, and then they're seeing there's some small differences, and maybe they're wondering.
But it's so subtle. Apart from that wonderful electrical doohickey in the back that charges all up, it's so subtle.
Yeah, that was the
noise back there. People on video. That's my bag sliding down in the back because how quiet this thing is. The steering is remarkably Phantom-esque, I guess is the best word I can describe it.
Well, the steering rack and all the components are out of the Phantom, and then all I'm doing is running the fluid pump. It's an electric motor instead of belt driven.
Yeah. You do hear wind noise now.
Yeah.
All you hear. It's hard to get used to. I never thought the Phantom was a noisy car before, but I was really very my perception. So, this is which stop of your global tour of the 102EX?
We're nearing the end now, so after this we're going to 3 different locations in the USA.
Okay.
So California, Florida and New York, and then back to the UK, and we'll start stripping the car down.
So this obviously, unfortunately, you come to the Middle East where it is cooling down. It's not the most extreme time of year.
No.
What's the most extreme conditions you've taken it in so far for a prototype?
For temperature, probably Singapore, only a couple of weeks ago. So the temperature was maybe 7 or 8 degrees hotter than it is here, and it wasn't as humid either. So the humidity.
Singapore was not humid.
It was humid, but not as humid as it's been here this week. We've had a very humid week here, I think.
Have they tested the batteries at all? Have you noticed anything different about it, or is it just performed in a very Rolls-like fashion?
The performance has been pretty much uniform throughout the tour now. We had slightly higher battery temperatures here and in Singapore than we had in other countries, but still not at any level to be worried about. And this battery is just air-cooled. There's no water cooling, there's no fluid cooling in the battery at all.
Okay.
So as a prototype, that's absolutely fine. You know, for anything in a series car, you might think to do it a different way.
How many bits of this are using actual Phantom bits?
Oh, it's pretty much everything. I really just took out the V12, the gearbox and the fuel tank, and replaced it with a battery, an electric motor and some cables. So most of the rest of the car is Phantom.
Brilliant. It's only that easy. I'm sure somebody at home is thinking, well,
yes,
you know what, I could do it. Give me a lot of money, I imagine?
Yes.
Let's take out Fraser while we can. Oh, hang on there.
And if you just press the end, and then that's fine, that's in park.
Yeah, take it out. I never get tired of that. I mean, I'm just never ever going to get tired of that.
Okay.
Right, into the audience, we're now sitting with the wonderful Ronald Bartlett, Bates and Gulf, and Rolls-Royce. Ronald, what are we sitting in?
We're sitting in a coupe, Phantom coupe.
Completely stock standard from AGMC? Or
It is from AGMC, but it is nothing but standard because there's no such thing as a standard Rolls-Royce.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that, shouldn't
Yes,
I?
this is a bespoke model. I'm not sure if they can see it on camera, but you've got the star effect here.
Don't distract me, Ronald, but I do love that. I'm going to be looking at that the entire time.
And
You
we're
might
going
have
to
to
light
hold
it up right now
Wow,
for
that's
better
very distracting,
illumination
Ronald.
for the camera.
That is hugely distracting. I tell you what, I do like the Phantom. I'm growing to love this car a bit more than I thought I would. I'm a Ghost guy, but this car always felt right, is the word for it.
Yeah.
If the Ghost feels nice, this car feels right.
But the Ghost is a bit more of a dynamic car, you know, you can feel it work a bit more.
Oh,
It's
good
a
lord, the
bit
Queen
more-
Mary is more dynamic than the Phantom.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Beirut gets up and goes more often. But it's
Phantom is
not
quite
bad,
of
you
a
know,
stately car, you know,
You have
designed.
to guide this car. You have to guide it around the corner. I mean, no late braking, very gentle steering input. So when you put your foot down, and not a lot happens because this is a Phantom and it is a hugely acrobatic. But it's good enough. Good enough for
More
most people.
gentle.
Relax, man. Details. You know me, it's not good.
Back into romantic mood.
I've said this before. Two men in a car with stars above us. I am not happy with this. I'm not
Okay.
cool.
We'll switch it on. It's all at a touch of a button. You can feel the surge. In this one, it might not be as immediate as in the electric because
I'll
electric
tell
you've
you
got
what,
the torque in from zero.
I tell you what, the Phantom, that one does feel like it gets up and goes compared to this car.
Exactly.
It is. Have you driven it yet?
I haven't driven that car. No, I've driven an electric car, so I know the feeling of the torque.
Which electric cars have you driven to compare it to?
No, it doesn't compare. Small city cars.
Okay, it's a car that cannot be named for the purposes of
No,
this video.
yes, exactly.
But
And
it-
they
it
are
does-
electric, but they are electric.
But they
So-
do not compare.
No, they do not compare.
I
But
said this before,
what I'm comparing is the essence of torque from zero, basically.
Yes, that's what people feel, isn't
Yeah.
it? That's what people feel. Is the torque, is the effortless
Exactly.
surge of power, and other marketing words that Rolls-Royce is happy to hear from.
Yes.
And we're coming to a stop, and that was your Rolls-Royce Coupe test drive. And hopefully we'll not turn it off at some point.